Hey, welcome back to Math Savvy. It's Maggie. No need to cry over your homework right now. We are going to learn the product rule super good. Yeah! What is the product rule? So, when we're dealing with derivatives, we are going to need to use something called the product rule when we have a function being multiplied by another function. So if we have something like with x's in it times another something with x's in it, we know that we're going to have to use the product rule. This is just a formula that you have to memorize. What is the product rule? So let's say we have two functions being multiplied together, in this case, f of x and g of x. When we take the derivative, you're going to have to take the derivative of one of them and then multiply it by the other one, but don't take its derivative. Then add the opposite. So add the one that you didn't take the derivative of in its like normal form, and then multiply it by the other one's derivative. Just memorize this and all of the examples are going to fall under this pattern. Okay, example number 1. Take this derivative. All right, so identify your f of x and your g of x. Okay, so we just have to follow this. So let's start. F prime of x. Well, if we take the derivative of this is just going to be 12x cubed. That's being multiplied by g of x, which is just normal sine of x. Now, add f of x by itself, which is just 3x to the 4th plus 5, times the derivative of g of x, which is just cosine of x. So this is going to be the derivative of this problem right here. Let's try another example. So here's our f of x and here's our g of x. First step, f prime of x. The derivative of our f of x is 1 over x times regular g of x. That's just times sine x. Then we're going to add f of x like normal, so add ln of x times the derivative of g of x. This is our g of x, so our derivative is going to be cosine x. So this function here is going to be our derivative of this one. I see this problem all the time on homework and sometimes on tests and quizzes. Basically, they're like, okay, what is h prime of 3 if you have all of these values and this is the function? Well, h prime, that means we need to take the derivative of h. So h is a function with two functions being multiplied together. So we know that we're going to have to use the product rule. So what's the product rule? We've been doing it this whole time. What's the product rule? Do you know it? I don't know. Okay, so this is it. Now we just plug and chug from here. It's asking, okay, what's h prime of 3? So this is going to be h prime because that's just the derivative that we just learned about. And now it's asking, okay, what is it at 3? So we need to plug in 3 where all these x's are. Now we have values for all of these guys. So we can look f prime of 3. If this is x, f prime is going to be 10. If we look at g of 3, here's g. At 3, it's going to be negative 5. Then we add f of 3. Well, f of 3 is just 1. And then g prime, if we look at g prime here, it's going to be negative 20. So this is going to simplify to negative 50 minus 20, giving us that h prime of 3 is equal to negative 70. If you need help with the rest of your homework or you're about to have a panic attack because you have a test tomorrow, hit us up at math-savvy.com for some help. We'll take care of you, no problem. Bye.